Start live stream? I don't... Okay. Oh boy. Can you hear me now? Oh my god. Okay. So, what happened is that during testing, the start streaming thing on OBS was all it took to for me to see the stream in the testing overview, right? But apparently I have to press start stream on YouTube as well to actually start the stream. Yeah, I think they changed that, or maybe I just forgot. I don't know. Anyway, unhiding my everything. Boing. Sick animation, right? You're about to see an even sicker one. We are doing furnace today. Why is the instrument thingy open already? I have prepared the quick start guide and the program, and I've looked at it like for 30 minutes or maybe an hour beforehand, so I'm not completely naked with this, right? But yeah, that's what I'm doing today. We have 4 viewers if I'm, well, one is me and one is Lily, so 2 I guess. I welcome you to this absolute banger of a stream. Yeah. Let's test. Can you hear the program? You should be able to hear that. See. Okay, very good. I think everything's working then. Alright, quick start guide. Blah blah blah. I've looked over this. Basically, this first part is just an introduction, what a tracker is, etc. Some layouts. I will say this thing. I don't know what these 3 do or that. Actually, now that I think of it, macro release, I think I did look at the keyboard settings. That's just somewhere else on my keyboard because I don't have US layout. Anyway, it is worth mentioning that I have some experience with trackers. That is, I have made some tracks in LSDJ, as seen in LSDJ. Oh. Right. So I have a few in here. But nothing major. Just fucking around for the most part. Not that I'm going to do anything more than fucking around today, to be honest. Right. I would say I'm going to skim over this. Channel is a group of columns separated from the others by lines. That's just normal tracker stuff. More than one node playing at a time, yes. Yes. That's just explaining the concept of Control-C and Control-Y. Which, by the way, I've noticed there is There's some programs that do Control C, Control Y, and some programs that do Control C and Control Z and Control Shift Z. And the difference is basically whether the author used the US keyboard or not. Because Z and Y are next to each other on the US layout. So it makes a little more sense to do that there. Different sounds. Right, the instruments. I think I'm gonna start with this. So, right. That's not my Game Boy thingy that I set up earlier. How do I do that? Manage chips. Why are both of these in here? Alright, so we only have the Game Boy now. Two pulse channels, one wavetable, one noise. I don't know, let's lay down some basic stuff. Edit. Then something in the second one. Edit. And let's see, I want this, well, it does that by default. So what I wanted to do is already there. So let's do the opposite of that to the other one, to the other instrument. New instrument, right? At 0. Let's see. Sure, new instrument. Yup. Yup. Oh, so is that not the new instrument? Okay, let's do this. Right, and let's do this way. Yeah, let lead in now. I think both of them have them. No, neither. They still have the default instrument, whatever that is. Can I drag it? Nope. What about... Oh, I can... Okay. Instrument. 0. There we go. I think that does it. Yup. Alright. Right. Alright, that works. Well, let's see. Let's read the thingy a little bit further. Right. So if I add a new one, for example here, yep, it has the instrument 0. Yep. Very nice, very good, very cool. volume. Oh, that's it for the instrument section. Okay, sure. We'll get into it later, I guess. Oh no, hexadecimal. However will I go? Ta-ta-ta-ta. Indicator at the end. What end? Do they mean when I try closing the window? Hmm. 6C. So I actually do have to enter the volume manually, and there's no slider or anything. Can I? Guess not. 6C, but okay, I can enter 6 and C. But how do I put in 6C? It doesn't tell me. Can I? There's no set volume in here. Or? What? No. Okay. I mean, I guess because it's the Game Boy, it only goes to F. I think. Let me double check in the instruments thingy. Volume goes to 15, so yeah, that would be F. So I guess that's just a limitation of the chip I've selected. Two. I did C step. Because it conflicts with the envelope that I set. Yeah, sure. I mean, it should work. I'm not gonna make an instrument without an envelope just to test that. Oh, I see. It's a little stranger yet. Some chips use linear volume, which translates directly to amplitude. Dividing the value in half results in half the volume. Other chips, such as the one we're using right now, use logarithmic volume. Subtracting from it lowers the volume based on how loud it sounds. Okay. The one we're using right now is not the one we are using right now. The one we are using right now, again, is the Game Boy chip. I don't know what they're using in the tutorial. I didn't even look. I don't care. Alright. Effects. Yeah, I was wondering about that. Clear out all of our notes and place one at the top of the FM channel. Set it to full volume. I mean, I guess I'll do that, sure. That's at volume 6 again. Next to the volume column are the effect columns. That's these two in this chip's case, I guess. No, it's always two. I guess. The first of them is the effect type column, and it stores the type of effect. Holy camoly! In that column, type 0A. This corresponds to the volume slide effect. How the fuck am I meant to remember that? Next to that, in the effect value column, type O2. Volume slide. I will remove the instrument because we already have a volume slide in there. Hit the key F5 to play from the start. Okay, and you'll hear the note play, but instead of staying at a steady volume, it'll smoothly fade out. It does that by default, though. I think, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. Okay, fine. New instrument. No. What? Use software envelope? Is that what it? No. Don't compare it. Just stay steady. Right? And then 1. Now it stays, and if I do, what was 0A? What the fuck did I press? 0A or 2? I guess the instrument has precedence over that, or maybe it's different per chip. Okay, so the tutorial has convinced me that I maybe shouldn't be going off on my own. What's the default chip they're using? I don't think they say. I don't think they say. Okay. So, I did change the default chip to Game Boy, I believe. So, where was it? Emulation? No. Audio? Surely not. No. Somewhere in here, maybe. Ah, initial system. Reset to default. Sega Genesis, but why though? Alright, let's reopen, see what that changes. I skipped it. Hehe, you don't get to see the intro. Yeah, Mega Drive. Does this look the same? Yeah, okay. This seems correct. Alright. So. Sure. Let's do... What? FM open. And... Yeah. Second instance of furnace. Okay, sure. And what does it want me? Quick start. No, Control 0 doesn't do that. I guess that's another change in because I'm not using US keyboard. I guess it's mapped to something different. Okay. Sure. the horn. Can I just drag it? Does that? No. I don't think that works. Nope. Can I copy and paste? No. And Control Z doesn't work for that. Okay. What the fuck? How do I change this? Oh, I fucked it. Oh. Select it, then use the floppy disk save icon above it to save wherever you like. Burns instrument file names end with the. I could have just taken something from the instrument folder. What is it? OPL? No, OPN. This. That's the default. What does it want from me? Horn. Well, none of these are brass. There's horn. Okay, well, guess I do need to save it if I want this exact thing. What is it called? Quick start. There we go. So, save. Was it? No? Something about an icon? There's the floppy disk save icon above it to save it. There isn't one though? Does it mean here? I guess this. You're gonna see my documents. I need to do this for a second. Alright. I'll be back in a second. I'm sorry. Alright. Welcome back. And okay, this one I was able to drag. It's still under uncategorized for some reason though. Can I? No. What if I delete this? Can I please have it as just... No? I'm unworthy of the non-weird thing, I guess. Can I... Click the folder button. This. Again, you'll see my documents. I apologize. It's still under uncategorized. I can't believe it. It's still uncategorized. I did exactly what they say I should. And it's still... Maybe that's a new version. I don't know. It wasn't like that when I made them, right? If I do this... It's still... What the hell? I don't know. I don't know. I'm assuming it still works. So, I'm just gonna ignore it. How do I change volume? We've already seen that. I will say. Oh, that's the sound. That is indeed a horn. Okay. Let's see if F2. No? A, no? Oh, I'm not an edit mode. A2. That's okay. 7F is maximum. So I would really like to know what the hotkey for stepping is, so I can play the current note. Keyboard, note input, no. Pattern. It's none of those. Maybe global hotkeys. Okay, well, play from cursor shift return, I guess. Step is control return. Therefore, playing what's currently the thing? No. Step is good enough. Alright. That's plenty. Stop, please. Stop. Thank you. Oh my god. Okay. How do I make it stop? That's not... No. What the fuck? Okay. That's annoying. Genuinely, how do I make it stop? Like without the... with a key. Keyboard. Double hotkeys. Stop is plus. I know that it isn't that. I tested that beforehand. That doesn't work. Let me demonstrate. I'm pressing plus. Doesn't work. What am I setting it to? This is tab set to anything? I guess I'm setting it to tab. Yeah, that works. Alright, so that's 7F. And if I send it to I'm not in edit mode. If I set it to 20. Oh, wrong key. Then it's basically not audible. Didn't expect it to go that low. Why am I in the fourth column? Stop being down there. No. There you go, that's better. Can I edit it while it's playing? No. Um, 6, 5. Well, I mean, volume works, at least. At least we know that. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, I know that one. That's just tracker things. How do I change tempo? I don't... Did I miss something? Sorry, I skipped over this somehow. Alright, so that's 7F. That's the volume envelope is what this was. Volume slide. I don't know the difference. So indeed it seems to work. Again, how do I remember that it is 0A? Interesting effect because it's 2 digits and value is split. Look to the effect list to the right of the pattern view. Ah, that's what this is for. I see. I see. Can I click this? Can I, if I do this and then click that? Nope. Still have to enter it manually. That's just a reference sheet. Also, why does it do that? That's better. Oh, it is categories. That's nice. Sure. What is system? Like chip level instructions. No secondary stuff. Miscellaneous. Arpeggio. Sample offset. I don't work enough with sample-based trackers, which is to say, not at all, to really know about samples, how they're handled internally. Sample playback direction. I mean, the only reference I have for how this works is LMS, a program that is famously bad at sample-based music. So, I mean, they're improving, but still, it's like they've only recently gotten the very basics. Set ARP speed, vibrato shape, vibrato range, legato. What is legato again? I don't remember. Oh. Wikipedia. Legato. Oh, I see. Transition is what LSTJ calls this, I think. A smooth transition from one note to the next. I want to try that actually. Legato was... Okay. X, Y semitones. What do you mean? What do you mean X and Y? Oh, that's what it meant with two-digit value is split. I see. So 0 is one value and A is one value. And that's X, Y. Oh, it's SO here as well. Okay. Alright, so if I do... So this is still that. And if I want this to... I'm gonna copy this. And if I want this on the fourth tick to do a legato 5 semitone upwards, that means... I don't know what the difference between a quick legato and the, I don't know, normal legato is. Semitones. Okay, well, let's see. E8. I did something wrong already. E8. Okay, it doesn't want me to shift while I'm entering that hex, apparently. X is time, Y is semitones. So that's, I don't know. I'm guessing time is the amount of ticks. So let's say in 2 ticks, 5 semitones, right? Let's see what it does. It's not ticks, apparently. That is definitely less than 2 ticks. Let's see what F5 does. Let's see how fast that is. I'm not tripping, right? Time, semitones, X, Y, E8. Should... Maybe this channel just doesn't do legato. Maybe it means delay instead of... But that doesn't make sense though. What does EA do? Eh? Oh, sorry, that was... My god. Legato. I wish there's like more... I wish there was more description than just legato. I'm assuming that this will legato to the next note. Let's see what it does. Nope. It needs to be here. No, maybe it needs to be like this. No, maybe, again, maybe this chip just can't do legato. I don't know. Oh. Home and end works. That's nice. Okay, more thoroughly in the effects documentation. Each chip may have its own special effects, which are covered in the system's docs. However, those are best explored later. Legato. While on, new notes instantly change the pitch of the currently playing sound instead of starting it over. I disagree. I disagree. I don't think that works. Like, okay. Right? And I mean, I don't think you can tell very easily. Oh my god. I don't even know what's going on in here. You can tell when the note starts, whatever. It starts 3 times. It's not like it changes. What if I do this? In LSDJ, I think that affects things, but not here apparently. Toggle legato, no? Number of ticks between arpeggio values. Is one tick not like this? Hello, Fennel. Welcome to the stream of incompetence. Legato. I don't know. I'm gonna look at this later. Again, maybe it's just the chip that doesn't support this. I have no clue. I mean, being bad at something is the first step to not being bad at something. True. Well, that's what I'm here to do, isn't it? Thanks. 120. Blah, blah, blah. The result of the volume slide is kept in the memory of the channel. Enter a volume of 7F and play again. It will start at full volume and then ramp down because the 0A volume slide is still going. Is that how it works? I would assume that the instrument overrides this based on my usage of LSTJ. Alright, so 7F, 0A, O2. Oh, that's O2. So, indeed, the instruments do not reset the volume. Fascinating. Maybe I will check this in a new instance. Whether whether the Game Boy. Oh, I need to have at least one chip. Whether the Game Boy works similarly here, or if it resets stuff based on the instrument. And then I'm gonna put it in here. What was it? Does that work? No. Fennel says, I've always wanted to learn tracker software, but never had the spoons to do it, so I get to live vicariously through your self-education. I hope you're having fun. Alright, so this is the volume. instrument. 0A. Maybe this is different actually. 0A, volume slide. No, it isn't. 0A. This is a weird format to put this in. Anyway, 0.2 is down. Yep. Nope. Same behavior in Game Boy. Interesting. In LSTJ you have to do some weird bullshit to do this to have the same behavior. I'm gonna show that off for a second. Sorry, I haven't done this in a while. Alright, so right, and then you have to come up. Well, I already need to change the instrument to not have the envelope, right? Actually, let's keep it like that for now, and then have a new instrument here. Is that smart? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, that's another new instrument. Yeah. Alright, so if... And I forget, I think it was E? No, yeah, the volume envelope, so that's... right? So you make an envelope like this. It fades out, but the note after it directly resets that envelope, because you can think of these envelope, it hides my cursor, I can't really show it, but it hides this this envelope thing is like an envelope command on every note where you play it with that instrument. What you can do to achieve the same effect as what Furnace is doing by default, basically, is you can do the change note command. What was it? There was a command to just change the pitch of the note. Chord, delay, volume, fine tune, set groove up to next phrase, kill note, slide to note. Maybe fine tune. No, there needs to be a better way to do that. No? Slide to note, master volume, set output, pitch bend. Ah, that's what I was looking for. Or not. That is bending? Set tempo, vibrato, wave, randomize. It's been a while since I've done stuff in here. I guess it's just fine tune. Yeah, I don't know. It works some way. I figured it out a while ago, but it's been like a year since I've touched it, so I don't remember. Anyway, you can see how that's very useful in Furnace. Alright. Route 90, sure. How do I make this song longer? Yeah, it's just add thing. That's very easy. What? The pattern view shows all the patterns in an order at once. Hey, okay. Sometimes even with it for, well then fix that, no? Anyway, at the top left of the interface we find the order view. Similar to the pattern view, it's like a spreadsheet but even simpler. Is it? I don't know. From left to right, the top line shows short names for all the channels. That's these channel names. So yeah, FM1 square. So it all corresponds up here. Click on the plus button to get a new one. Not only labeled 1, but filled with that same number. Yep. Click in the pattern view and move to the top left by hitting home twice. What? Oh, okay, that increased that. I didn't. Okay, clicking on that apparently increases the number. Clicking on home twice. That's okay. It shows where I am here. I'll say that the new patterns are empty. Home twice. But the new pattern. What? I am confusion. Oh, I wasn't there. I see. What? I am still confused. Why does it show it? Does that mark the whole column? Oh, I see. That's just a theming issue. I see. So this is meant to mark the whole column, as to where I am in which channel I am, so to speak. And this horizontal thing is in which order I am, is what they call it, I think. I don't know, I got confused by by what they were saying about terminology and stuff. Remove order. Alright. Pattern view shows the end of the previous pattern, but faded out. Well, I mean, I don't have anything there, so I wouldn't know. I can't even... How do I go to the next pattern with keyboard? I cannot. I don't think it lets me do that. Does it automatically do that when I'm playing back? Yes. Okay. Now, more generally, how do I go to the previous... Huh? Settings. Keyboard. Octave. I should rebind that to something that makes more sense. Oh, I thought this was, bound to plus, but it isn't. That's just add a new one. Seems obvious now. Oh my god. We are a bit silly. Anyway, that's how I change the octave, is it? I was looking for that before, so I'm testing that real quick. No, it doesn't work, because I need to press shift for those buttons. Once again, I'm defeated by key maps. I'm gonna rebind it to something else, I guess. Well, I hope that plus isn't bound to anything. And I hope that minus isn't bound to anything. Yeah. That doesn't work either. What the hell? Did I miss something? Is it... Oh, is it just for the keyboard? Ah, it's just for the keyboard. Yeah. I think that was a 4 before. Yeah. Okay. Right. I wanted to see how to go between orders. Increase edit step, toggle edit mode, metronome, follow orders, follow patterns. I don't want to follow them and I want to go to the next one. Pattern. Move cursor. Beginning and end. But how do I move the cursor to the next pattern though? Go to next order, go to previous order. I am going to do that with control right and control left, I guess. Let's see if that works. Control right, control left. Yes, works. All right. Keybinds. I love keybinds. Woohoo! I also love. I've said this before starting the stream, but I also love that there's no search bar in here. That is, if you have a lot of hotkeys in your application, you need to add a search bar. Absolutely essential. Like, going through these lists, most people do not want to do that. That's a huge turnoff for most people. So, like, I don't know. I'm gonna see if there's a GitHub issue for that later, but right now, I'm streaming. Not, but normally I would add a GitHub issue for that if there isn't one already. Blah blah blah. Go to the first order and make sure there are some notes in the first channel. Okay, so they're just saying how to change patterns in here. I assume if I change this to 0, yep, the previous FM1 shows up here. And if I change this to 0, well, we don't have anything there yet, so I guess that makes sense. But if I do right, and then see, that's why I wanted a keybind to move between the patterns. That's so important to have that. And then if I change this, boing, it's there. And it's still at the last one as well. That's one of the things that I think is really useful about trackers. You can just reuse musical phrases very easily. I wonder how... Oh, well, yeah, that's what they talk about next, what I was about to say. Go back to the first order and put some notes in the first channel. Yeah. 2 overlay pages. Oh, this. That's what I mean. This is the duplicate button. Clicking it normally will add a row that repeats the current order. Oh, because, okay, so if I do this, it just completely, it completely copies that. Just 1 to 1. And if I right click that, then it creates a new set of phrases, patterns, I forget the naming, but with the same contents. So if I change something here, right? Oh, it's not in edit mode. And then go back, I said. Then it's not there because that's not the same phrase, pattern, whatever. Yeah. This is somewhat faster than cut and paste. Control X and Control V, by the way, with Control C for copy. Sure. Important takeaway here is that patterns exist independently of orders. The order list is a playlist of patterns that can be freely rearranged. That is very similar to how LSDJ works. How do I change tempo? Tempo and speed are a little tricky. In fact, for the purposes of fairness, they mean different things. Fendel says it does not look like anyone's put in an issue or a discussion or the search bar in the hotkey list. Alright, I'll look at it later. I don't really have anywhere to take notes right now. I guess I can go to some other desktop and put some notes in. So to do issue, open GitHub issue for fairness about a keybind search bar. All right, I'll remember this later. Tempo and speed. Let's clear out our first order and put some evenly spaced notes there. Sure, let's do that. Why not? Fendel says, fortunately, it looks like the dev is handling feature requests through the discussions forum, so it won't require issue documentation, which is nice. I don't know what that means, but yes, okay. Yes, tempo and speed. Evenly spaced notes. The most basic unit of time is the tick. Good, they explained that. That's very good. Almost always video game systems take actions based on each frame of video, and these most often happen at 60 times per second, usually expressed at 60 hertz. Well, often it's like 59.9982 or some bullshit. Like the Game Boy runs near 60 hertz, very slightly slower than it. And 60 hertz, at least, you know, in the time that was important, the frame rate, 60 hertz is always only an approximation based on the how fast the AC current in, you know, your walls oscillates. So all older systems, as far as I know, used that for their frame speed to sync that up with the AC current. That wasn't always perfectly 60 hertz. It's just very approximately. This is for NTSC systems. Systems that expect PAL will use 50 hertz, and arcade games can use all sorts of different values. I don't know much about arcade, I will say. Because of this timing, everything that happens during playback will happen on a tick, never in between ticks. That makes some sense. I will say, yeah, in video game systems, sure. Like if you integrate it in a video game, that makes sense. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense in fairness. First of all, yes, it needs to be played back. It needs to be able to be played back on real hardware because, I mean, that's the purpose of fairness, right? But you definitely, at least knowing how the Game Boy works, you can definitely change the channel configurations in between frames very easily. Like that's not a limitation at all. You can in fact change the configuration faster than intended, causing some undefined behavior to occur. But I'm not going to go into that because I don't know enough about that to talk about it. I just know it's like if you do things fast enough, weird things start to happen. Anyway, tangents. I don't, yeah. But sure, everything happens on a tick. If we click on the speed tab at the top right of the interface, we'll see the base tempo line that shows. We'll see the base tempo line at the top shows the tick rate as 60 Hz. Here is 60 Hz. Sure. To the right. We could change the base tempo to something arbitrary, and the tick rate will change accordingly. But this would be authentic to the system's capabilities. Yeah, okay, sure. So let's leave the base tempo at 150. We see the calculated tempo 3 lines down. This. It reads 150 BPM. Okay. So this numerator denominator. And already I'm confused. I guess I should just keep reading. Beneath the base tempo is speed. Set to 6. Right now, each row takes 6 ticks to complete. See, that's what I was confused about earlier. I thought 1 tick is 1 line. I guess that would be too fast for most music. So 1 line is 6 ticks to complete before moving to the next row. Let's say we want things to be a little faster. Play the current set of notes to hear the tempo first and change the speed to 5. The tempo shown below. Okay, so I will say this is not an issue I'm gonna open. That's just confusing terminology. That's less speed and more like the inverse of speed, right? You don't if you call a number speed, then increasing it would mean it's faster, but this is the opposite. So it's like delay, I don't know. But like this should definitely not be called speed if making it less increases the speed. But whatever. Virtual tempo will not read 180 BPM. Indeed it does. Player notes back and they're definitely faster, perhaps faster than desired. Ooh, possible to get tempos in between by alternating speeds. If you're interested, check out the documentation on speeds and grooves later on. No. Because, actually, grooves, that might be useful. If it's anything like grooves in LSDJ, then you can get some shorthands for making like swing rhythms, for example. I never figured it out how to do it well, but but helps with writing music that's a little more dynamic. Okay, let's try this. Right, that's speed 6. That's speed 5. Yup. Let's go crazy with it. Let's go absolutely nuts. Wow. I can't believe they let me drive a car. What? Anyway. 6 is what it was. Beneath base. Oh, I read that already. What about those other channels? We've been using Furnace's default system, the Sega Genesis, which is a weird default system, I will say. Most trackers grow up in the latest, like 64, C64 Amiga era. So I would have assumed that the default system is C64, but apparently not. It employs two very different sound chips. The first is the Yamaha YM whatever, also known as the OPN2. It uses frequency modulation, system synthesis to generate sounds, blah blah blah. I mean, that's all not really important to us right now. That's just the sound to hardware of the Genesis. It's a programmable sound generator that can only make square waves and variations of noise. It's nowhere near as versatile, but don't ignore it. It's a more important part of the classic Genesis sound. How does it sound? That's still the FM. FM square. Why are you making FM sounds? What? Yeah. But why are you making FM sounds? Do I need to change the... There we go. It sounds like a perfectly fine square wave. I don't know. If it's anything like the Game Boy, which I think it was slightly worse. Just, I mean, don't quote me on that. I don't know much about the Genesis. But if it was anything like the Game Boy, this is like what I definitely prefer over FM synthesis, even though it's technically less capable. It just sounds nice, you know? Oh, I skipped something important, I think. And variations of noise. Yeah. Let's start the creation. Sega PSG from the... yes, I see. So that's the PSG. And that's already very... I see. I'm just gonna keep it as a floating window. I played around with the Game Boy variant of this, but this looks a little different than the Game Boy. I'm going to try though. Right, default, and then let's add an arpeggio. And loop. No, both of them, please. There you go. Very nice. Very nice. Sequence. Oh. Okay. Now I got that was an LFO. Whoa. Why is the default so much? That's ridiculous. Okay. Expected the sound to be a little smoother than that. Oh well, maybe it's the hardware limitation. Like on the Game Boy, you can get very, very fine differences, but I don't know if the Genesis has that pitch. Can I? No? Oh, I need to increase that here. No, it's perfectly capable. I guess the what was it called? The LFO just doesn't do that. I don't know. Maybe it sets it in steps instead of doing like proper pitch shifting. No, what's it called? Pitch envelope, whatever the term for that is. Treading notes with the new instrument and they'll work just fine without complaint. Of course, they're plain no frill square waves. While we're here, try making them quieter by entering the volumes. Since this chip only uses 16 volume levels, F is the maximum. Let's move to the noise channel now. The same instrument will work here, but playing different noise notes gets us different pitches of noise. Pitches in quotes. Oh, why is it this? Wow. Wow. Is that all? Okay, that's all we get, apparently. Oh, my bad, sorry, it's still the same instrument. That's why it sounds like us. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. Is it that you can go this low? Yeah, I guess these are all duplicates of 0. Oh! Ah, right. If you press two notes on the keyboard at once, it rolls over to the next instrument. So if I press the noise channel and then a second key, it plays the FM. Which confused me at first when I was first testing this out. This thing toggles whether it does that or not. This... I'm holding two keys at once, you don't see it, but I can press as many as I want, it all stays in this instrument. That's a little more intuitive, but at the same time, like it's intuitive in the noise channel, but if you're over here, then this sounds like shit, but if you enable polyphony, then it'll go to the other FM channels, which of course sound the same, so you have polyphony. So that makes a lot of sense in that case. I wish there was like a setting to only make it roll over if it's the same type of channel or something. But oh well. Maybe there is, I don't know. Maybe there is. I would expect it to be here though, like a third option between poly and mono. But where was I? Let's move to the noise channel now. The same instruments will work here, but playing... Oh yes, we were here. This channel is both more and less versatile than it seems, with several notable quirks that we won't get into here, but take a look at this chip's documentation later on. I will say the noise channel on the Game Boy, which I know I keep rambling about the Game Boy, but that's just what I'm familiar with. the Game Boy's noise channel is very interesting in that it has two modes, kind of. It's stacked over each other as different octaves, or different ranges, rather. One is like semi-random noise, so it actually sounds like noise. Do I still have the other? Yes. It actually sounds like noise. Oh. I need to enable mono. What? That actually sounds like noise. Right? And if you go up a few octaves, it okay, I need to just do it manually this time. If I go up a few octaves. No? No? Is it below? I am confused. This is definitely different to how it works in LSDJ and how it is on the hardware. I'm going to look at that later. Anyway, what about samples? Yes. I don't really have samples personally. So I don't know what to use for samples here. I didn't see any samples in the in the thing that they give you. Maybe wavetables, I don't know. I assume that wavetables is actually, wavetables and not samples as well. Select the lone sample in there. There's none. The test instance. Sure, let's where was it? Demos, quick start. Samples. What is that, by the way? Oh, that's nice. I like that, actually. Again, you'll see my documents if I do this, so I'll be back in a second. While I save this thing. I don't understand why they make me do that, by the way. I don't really understand why they make me get the files from the other instance instead of just providing them in the folders that they have, Alright, saved and open. Alright. Welcome back. And we're loading Bogos to Dwarf. And that's the... yeah. Sure. That's fun. Okay. What do they want me to do with it? Sure. Okay. Instruments. Add. What? What? This. Right click. Make instrument. And yeah, Bogos. Very good, very nice. And now if again, the rollover fucks with me. Oh, I'm in the... Okay. No. No. What? Wait, what? I fucked something up. That's the... No, why? Give me the sample, please. Why did it stop playing the sample? What the hell? Is it only certain FM channels that can play samples? No. It's always FM6. It does seem like only FM6 can play samples. Huh. Let's see what it says. Let's change the instrument name to bell since that's what it sounds like. I will not. I think Bogos is a perfectly fitting name. It sounds like Bogos to me. Now let's hear in action, close the instrument editor, then clear out everything in the patterns of our first order. Channel bell instrument and put it in channel FM6. Ah, see? They specifically say FM6. So if I were to do it in here, right? 2, then yeah, it wouldn't play back correctly because it can't play samples, I guess. And if I put it here, it does work. Good to know. If ever a sample sounds out of tune, refer to the sample tuning guide to fix it up. But note, in this case, we use a generic sample instrument just fine, but there are chips that use samples in special ways. Always check the chips documentation. I love reading documentation. Woo! For the best way to use samples with it. I wonder if it lets me use samples with the Game Boy's wavetable. Ah, see, that's one way where you can use the Game Boy sound channel between frames. Technically, it's just a wavetable, right? So it has only like I don't remember 32 samples or something that it can play back in a loop. But you know how fast the DSP is, so you know how fast the samples are played back, and you can basically use it like a ring buffer. So you update the samples as it's playing, so it always gets new data as it like plays the wavetable. So you can basically use that wavetable like it's playing a sample. So I'm wondering whether Furnace lets you do that. Because that's a very expensive operation. Now, technically, at the time, it would have been mostly expensive in terms of storage space, because storage space was just that expensive, you know. Pokemon Red and Blue ran out of storage, mostly. And then Pokemon Yellow had, you know, I'm sure you've seen it or heard it rather, the Pikachu actually saying Pikachu, and that's the wavetable playing a sample, and it sounds like shit because they they, if I remember correctly, they used a bit depth that's significantly lower than the sound capabilities, and I think also they like use they use 2 or 4 samples per sample, so they stretch the sound more than it needs to be technically just to save on storage space. It actually could sound a lot better, but yeah, for performance reasons and for storage reasons, they couldn't do that. Performance reasons in that case being secondary, because nothing's happening while Pikachu is saying Pikachu. So, but yeah, technically there's it takes a lot out of a Game Boy to play back PCM or whatever you want to call that. I will say, actually, I do want to show you some very impressive work that I don't know how to show you without showing you my documents again. So, alright, new tab. Welcome back. So, you see, right? Game Boy video player, a video player on the Game Boy. No way. Yes way. Someone figured out how to put video and audio on the Game Boy. More or less, right? But it uses what I said for the sound. I don't know how the video works. I have no clue. And I'm in the wrong thingy. It needs the Game Boy Color for that. Doesn't work on the original Game Boy. That sounds like shit. For performance reasons. Anyway, moving on. I love tangents. You know, some chips can use wavetables, which are a lot like very short looping samples. One of these is the Game Boy. Ah, it smells like home in here. Holy shit! Let's start a new file either from the menu or with Control N. Real? Oh, sure. Oh, I pressed the wrong thing. Oh wow, there's a setup screen. Oh my god, that's kind of satisfying. It's centered, but like in a weird way. It's cool. Anyway, it doesn't say that I need to, but yeah. Type boy in the search. My boy. That's a bunch. What's all of this? Virtual Boy, holy dang. No software mixing with MinMod, whatever that is. What is this? Of the OPM with a different register layout and no stereo? Why is it called a boy? Is that just branding? I don't think this has anything to do with the Game Boy. The most portable. Okay, no, that's just the description for the Game Boy, but portable under the Super Game Boy. For those who don't know, the Super Game Boy was a cartridge for the I don't know if it was the NES or the SNES, one of these two. That played back Game Boy games. Kind of a compatibility. How it works internally is that it's just a Game Boy internally, and it sends like video and audio data to the NES, more or less. But yeah, hilarious. Portable. Anyway, Game Boy. In our brand new song, we will want to add a new wavetable. Oh yeah, there's a new tab here. Boingo. Alright. Oh, very cool. And I can do that. Yes. I love electric shavers. Yes. Oh, does it what? Steps, lines? I don't have that. Do I need to make it? Yes, it was hidden. Lines. Okay, that's just the visualization though. That doesn't actually change playback. I'd be surprised if it did. I don't think I don't think the Game Boy had any interpolation capabilities. Width, height, that's definitely not, that's not stock. Anyway. It needs an instrument. This time it can just create one directly from the wavetable. But why? But why though? Yeah, I mean you can't. But why? Why can't it just do create instrument? Again, that's like a feature I'm noting that one down. That one I do think is kind of shitty. Wavetable, create instrument. That one I do think is like, okay, you've noted down that doesn't work, but design wise, there's no reason that can't work, right? And now we can't do much with this wavetable, blah blah blah. We'll get to macros in more detail in a bit. But for now, simply click the down arrow next to waveform. Sure. So adding a new one. I lost my line. Macros tab, yes. Here. We'll get to the macros in more detail in a bit, but for now, simply click the down arrow next to waveform. Here. One. Nope, that's not what I want. What is? Click the plus button that appears. What, this? Column with the gray. I don't know if that's gray, it's more orange than anything, but sure. The box to the right. Click in the middle of the column if it turns half. What? And it turns half orange. This is how you select which wavetable to. What? That is stupid. Is that really? Why is it in poles? Your wavetable. If I change this? No, that's what? Ah. I don't know why 1 is an option if I only have 0. But sure. So if I have this, it should sound like a saw. Yup. If I have this, it should sound like a triangle. Exceptionally so. I didn't expect it to sound that good, actually. Well, I could make it sound even better. But no, that's... I suck at drawing these, but yeah, I mean, you can see that. This should sound like a sine. It's close. What else? This should sound like an exponential wave, or whatever you call that in non-LMS terms. Alright. I don't know about that one. Maybe it's too smooth, too, yeah. Yeah, that's better. That's closer. Maybe a little bit more like this. Yeah, something like that. Hell yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Close the wavetable editor, move the instrument editor off to the side, and click into the wavetable channel in the pattern view. What? Oh, they mean here. Add a few notes to get a good sense of the tone. Yup. I'm gonna make a short thing just to test stuff. Yeah, I'll see what I want later. New instrument. Instrument 1. Yes. Oh. Where's the A? That's... I don't know. I'm bad at this. That's F. That's E. That's D. So they're here? Yeah, okay. This is follow, yes. God damn it. Stop doing that. Let's see what that is. Oh. It sounds like ass. I can't believe it. I mean... What's B? Yeah. And then... I have a hard time finding the notes. It's alphabetic, it should be easy, but... Alas, I suck. E3. B3, yeah. How does F sound? Okay, I want a third instrument for that to get something that has actually no fall off. Yes, there we go. Maybe I do want like how do I... Yeah. That works, I think. 2. That's F. That was here. That sounds like us. I fucked up somewhere here. F. That's A. What was play? There we go. Oop. No. Oops. Also no. I mean, F sounded good earlier. What if I just kept it F? What if I just kept it F? No. The C at the end sounds okay. F. Maybe let's do a G. Sounds aimless. I don't know. F sharp. No. Why does it sound like shit? I believe it's this F. Let's see if an F sharp will do. Oh, that's the wrong octave. Also the wrong instrument. That's the wrong. Right, and I wanted an F to try an F sharp. Other direction. E, F. Maybe just E. Well, E, F, G. So there's not much in there that I can. No. What did I have there before? E4. Why is that a 2 again? Because I have it selected here, I guess? Maybe I have to something. No. I haven't made music in a while. This is hard. I wish I could do like none of that. What the fuck? Oh yeah, oh yeah. There we go. I can actually. I also wish, and I think that wish is also going to come true by just going here. There we go. All right, so we need something that goes with E. How about G and A sharp? Huh? See? This A is the problem, I think, or one of the problems at least. A sharp is up here. This, I think. No? It's this. Yeah, okay. Yep. That is the wrong octave though. There we go. So A sharp, E, and that's a G. And we have an F as well in there. I don't know, let's try F sharp. Let's see. Whoa, that is the wrong octave yet again. There's even more the wrong octave. But there we go. Huh? Nah, I see. Also, this is 1, and this is meant to be 0. So, god damn it. Can I transpose this? That'll be easier to fix the octave up. Control F4. I mean, it's not Alt F4. Let's see. Yep, that works. sure. What has it done? Control F3. Okay. And then that's if I want to make a pattern out of it, then I need to go like I need to go down on this first one, so C. I think of G and then I press G on my keyboard, which of course is F. um, um, G sharp. Da, da, da. I need to play this individually again. Da, da, da. Right, and then I need to go to... That is... No. That is the wrong direction, so I need... What is transpose by a note? F2 and F1, so that's up. So I need to be there. But that's already the same note, so that's... so I actually need to be... Huh? Like... this, I think. And of course... And then... Again, that's not part of the pattern, so... D sharp. And that still sounds like shit, and I've stopped caring. I have stopped caring because at some point you need to realize that all is lost, and no, but I think like sometimes you try and you fail, and you just have to realize that you failed, right? And that's that. I don't think you can make anything good out of that musical idea. I don't think you can. So normally I would just start over in LMS with this. Here I'm just gonna continue following the tutorial. Blah blah blah. Yes. What's a macro? Is perhaps Furnace's most powerful feature. I did look into that for a second. For automates nodes parameters while it plays. The LSDJ equivalent would be tables, if you know LSDJ. A lot of what can be achieved with effects can be done with macros, but on a per tick basis instead of per row. Per row? Oh, that's what they mean, per note. Yeah, sure, okay. Let's start by clearing out the nodes we've entered. After that, well, I've done that, yeah. After that, move the cursor to the top left into the pulse 1 channel. Well, yeah. Create a new instrument and go into the instruments editor. Let's do this one. That's default. I've lost the line again. Need to start selecting the line I'm at, but I'm already almost at the end anyway, so. Where the hell was I? There we go. We want to work with the volume macro, but before we can do that, we have to select the Game Boy tab and check the box labeled Use Software Envelope. Aha! So it disabled this. My sound hardware can do its own limited volume envelope. What do we mean? What do we mean limited? They're perfectly fine. But those won't help us right now. And if we leave the box unchecked, the volume macro won't work. I see, that's what fucked us over earlier. Though the arrows will. In the macros tab, although that wasn't a macro. Either way, in the macros tab, the number input field. Ooh. I'm getting tired. In the macros tab, the number input field appears beneath the word volume is the length of the volume macro. Let's set it to 30. Aye, Captain. Which one? Volume? Ah, there it is. Let's set it to 30. In the large box next to it, draw a ramp from near minimum volume to maximum volume at the left and another down to draw. I meant to draw a volume. They didn't draw that. That's too perfect. They didn't draw that by hand. Anyway. Yup. It does indeed seem to work. And you can do some crazy stuff with it. For the teehees. Or if you want to make something that sounds like a guitar, something like this probably. Maybe something like this. Hello? Yeah, something plugged. Anyway, the starting thing is important for plugged instruments. If you don't do that, it doesn't really sound plugged. Like a guitar or something. If you do it, kind of does. I was able to do this better in LMMS, but you know. Blah blah blah. I lost my line again. I was the first one. In the large box next to it, draw a ramp from near minimum volume to. Oh no, I had that already. If it's a little uneven, that's okay. You can always edit the numbers directly beneath the box. Ah, that's how they did it. Wait, what numbers? That's just the no. No, what is that? What? But why does it go higher than here? Also, they don't correspond to the... Is that pasted in? Is that image edited? Huh. Strange. Also try right-clicking in the macro and dragging. Right-clicking. Ah! See, that's some magic right there. Holy dang. Damn. Can I make it loop? I vaguely remember, yes. There it is. Seamless. Seamless. Holy shit. That would have taken me so long to do in LSDJ. Just because you don't have a cursor there. Alright. But also LMMS has something similar, I think. Like if you open LMMS, I hope it doesn't show anything personal. But right in LMMS you have this, and there's this is the wavetable basically. This field is the equivalent of this, more or less. What? No, it isn't. But it's equivalent input. Let's say this is actually the waveform, so this would be the equivalent to the wavetable, the equivalent to this here. Yeah, but what was I trying to? I was trying to make a point, but I forgot what it was. It's a wavetable. Oh. Yeah. What was my point? What was I trying to say? I completely forgot. Anyway, LMMS has something similar, I guess. Derive your own lesson from this. Use the minus button on left. Huh? Oh, this? Okay. We have a zoom. Okay. Wow. And that's 24. I don't know what that number means, but sure. Well, in the instrument editor, you can play notes on the keyboard without affecting anything in the pattern view. Yep. I've been doing this the whole time. You could do this with effects, but if you're using it on many notes, doing it with the instrument could save a lot of typing. Yep, also very true. In the pattern view, add a few notes spaced far enough apart that the whole rise and fall is audible. At speed 6, 5 rows will do. And then look to the thin bar underneath the macro view. May not look like much, but if you hold the shift and click around. We've just set a release point. Aha! So I'm just gonna unselect all of this again. No looping. I said no looping. Changes the numbers. Oh, it puts a thing in there. Okay. I am right-clicking. What? Am I doing something wrong? Shift clicking. My bad. Release. Okay. Is it still looping there? How do I unloop? No looping. Stop looping. What about this? No? Okay, so it is the release thing that does that. But why? I'm not... Huh? Anyway, I can just do this, I guess. I don't know why it holds this if there's a release point here, but sure. I guess I could just do the other thing as well, the way they're doing it. Can I mirror this? No? Offset. No, mirroring is not a thing in here apparently. That's something you can do in the audio file player editor in LMMS. You can mirror and stuff. That's very useful there. But I don't know, it's not a deal breaker that it's not here. Each note rise to until the next note plays. What? Each note until the next note plays? What? Let's do a different one. What if I put them off here? Okay. What if I put this here? I understand. Alright, so I'm not sure if it was in the thing or if I read this earlier, but if there's two types of note offs. There's one that just turns it off, right? And there's one that is on the on my keyboard on the opposite side of the keyboard. That is like end the note but continue the macro until it gets to the end of it, right? So yeah, that's what it does. Play with the instrument a little here, blah blah blah. I'll play the song from the start. Each note will rise to the max volume and then stay there until the next note plays. Yes. About 10 rows. After the last note in our song plays a note off. The final note rises to its to maximum, then it's suddenly cut off. Oh no! To get the rest of the macro to play, move your cursor over the note off and use the backtick key to replace it with the macro release instead. Yeah, that's what I just did, basically. That's what I was talking about with ending the note but not the macro. Which will appear as rel. No, it appears as 3 equal signs. I don't know if that's a bug or an outdated documentation. I'm guessing the latter. Now when the song is played back, the final notes will rise and hold steady until it reaches the macro release. Then we'll hear the rest of the macro play out. Yep, we've done that. Macros are absurdly powerful tools. They are indeed. In LSDJ, there's some preset stuff that means you don't need to use tables as much. But like if they didn't have the chord command, which is basically just a table predefined, then I would be using tables all the goddamn time, because that's just, I mean, observe. I'm just gonna do it right now. Why not? That's what I'm here to do, no? I'm still unfamiliar with the interface. I apologize. And we're doing the command that we learned earlier, which is A2, I believe. But I'm double checking. Volume. Compatibility only. I wonder what that's about. 0A. Right. 0, okay, 0A. That is the volume, not the thing. 0A, and then what do I want? Right, stop it. Thank you. 02 would be this, not what I want. Instead, also I want to get into the instrument and disable this macro for now, because that is not the macro that we are going to be using. Volume slide. X0 is up, so let's see what 20 does. I think I need to set the volume to 0 first. Yes. Stop it. God damn it. I'm struggling. Holy dang. Right. I think if I do this in an instrument, that's gonna be a smarter decision. So, since we're not gonna be using the volume macro, which it actually it removes it if I do that. Very interesting. We're not going to be using the volume macro, so I can get the normal volume thingy back. And I want direction up, volume 0, and something like this. That is ass. Why is it doing that? What? Normally it's not supposed to sound this like that. It's not doing that here, is it? Software envelope. Or rather, since I'm setting that here anyway. It is. What? Oh, that's what's happening. No? I am confusion. Can you? Why is it down here now? Ah. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a little short. 1, 0. Is that slower or faster? That's faster. What if I do 3-1? What does it do? Interesting. Why? Doesn't say anything about that, does it? 0A, down and up. Well, that's fast volume slide. Well, I actually want even slower. I don't know how to make it slower without that. Anyway, let's pin to the bogos. Let's put this and what? Why does it sound? Oh, okay, it does still sound of shit. Anyway, we won't notice that, I think, with the macro, because I'm going to be doing that with the thingy. The thingy. Yep. What was it? I forget the exact. I guess I could be doing this. Why does it sound as? That's about what? Why? Is it not doing what I'm thinking it's supposed to be doing? Maybe it's normally slower? I don't think so, but let's see. It is! Ah, okay. Well. Well, that's the first step. Second step is I'm wondering, because this one I think it does sound shit if I do it. Doubled up. Oh, forgot the looping. Hmm. I think this sounds fun. That's too fast. 12, 24. Mm-hmm. We have E, and then I wish it would stop doing that. Let's see. I don't think the last number is good, but 24, 36. No, that would have been the next one, I think. What was the first one? C. Yeah, I think so. Perhaps it could start a little fast. Here is that. Let's do a little bit of this. How do I change the size of this? Pattern length. So that's 48 is what I want. Actually, I think it would sound better with 36. Sure. New order, and that is 0. We need that on repeat. And then some. I'm gonna delete the other instruments first. New instrument. Why isn't it doing? Oh, it's in the wavetable. Oops. Right. And hardware sequence. What is this? Huh. That like a second macro thingy? I don't know. Anyway. I think I'm gonna use a software envelope here. And be like, let's do a little bit of this. Actually more like this. And then do that, and then something like that. Why is it all the same? Too low, I guess? That's the lowest note I can go. Yeah. Actually, it's like a cent lower or something. I don't know. Duty. It's weird that I can't set it here. The initial duty. But oh well. I can do it here. I feel like this is gonna work the best. Okay. This. Let's see. That doesn't work at all. Maybe if I put it like, oops. That should be 28, I think. You know, I'm noticing more and more. If you don't make music for a while, you start to suck. Suck penis and balls. Guess I could do something like this. That works a lot better. We'll say, I think this one earlier is gonna be golden. Right. That's not quite what I wanted. There we go. Again, 0 and 1. I don't think I need anything new here. Oops, wrong. No. I've never been good at drums, but let's see. Whoop. Well, clearly something is... yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. What the hell? But why is it here now? Not earlier. Why can't I get the normal noise? Oh my god. What the hell? How do I... Huh? How do I get the normal? Is it... No, surely they're not co-opting the duty. How the hell is my normal good noise? So that should be 2. Yeah. I'm gonna check the documentation of this chip. System stock. Game... there we go. Effects, yes. Has a bug that can be triggered to cause the volume to step up, but run only on software command. Furnace uses the same method to trigger it as LSDJ. Without this technique, changing the sound volume directly on a node, such as volume macros do, would cause a phase reset each time, causing significant popping sounds. Unfortunately, on the emulator emulates the zombie mode bug properly. Huh, interesting. It doesn't explain anything about the noise channel. What? Is this the thing I was looking for? Yes, I think so. See the next section for more information. Yeah, so basically this is just a second macro as far as I can tell. synthesizer, yeah. Or noise mode sequence. So indeed I need to do the thing. Yep. No? Yes, it is that. I don't know why that isn't... I don't know. Whatever. It works now. I completely forgot what I was trying to do here. What was that? Right. I'm gonna make a kick first. So, actually, a kick is probably better in the wavetable. I'm gonna make the snare here. Alright. New instrument. Let's make a kick. Wavetable. Well. Shit. Well, now I need to make a wave, don't I? Let's just do the standard triangle thing. Can this... No, this doesn't do the shift and hold, or control and hold, or whatever it was. That's a little sad. But yeah, that's good enough. And instrument 3 was this, I think. Try waveform. Was it 1 or 2? Neither, it was 0. Right, and then I need to do pitch. Let the record show that this is spelled with P. That is not enough range for me. That is not enough range for what I wanted to do. I mean, I can try doing it with the envelope. I don't know if it's gonna let me do that. Sweep rather. No. Straight up, no. Okay. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Macro type. Ah. Oh, I see. So I need decay? No? I don't understand. Oh, relative. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Sure, I see. Now we're going somewhere. Where the oh my god. Where the hell is the thing that... Uh... What? So what I'm trying to find currently is this basically, but I mean, if I do this 200, sure, that kind of works. Yeah. Sure. Okay. I would really like to get rid of that nasty click sound at the start. Why? Oh, that's GPA only. Why does it do that? Let's see if I can do anything about that with the software envelope. Right, so I want kind of something like this. Longer. Sure. Yeah, that works, I guess. Alright, so what? Oh, yeah, what? Huh? Oh, it starts, okay, it starts at the beginning is what it does. This? You can't even hear it, what the hell? Oh, because it's C2. Let's see what that does. Copying this as well. There, 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 there. Let's see. Right, and then creating a new instrument. I have already forgotten how that works. Shit. Yeah, something like that. Yep. Here. Very nice, very nice. And then very short. And then tuck. No. Very coarse, unfortunately. Is that... some bullshit percussion? I don't know. Doesn't work at all because it actually sounds like notes instead of percussion. I think I need to take the D sharps out of here. D sharp. There we go. Maybe move that one earlier. I don't know, something like that. It doesn't sound too terrible, does it? Yeah. And then let's give the pulse 2 something new to, or what does pulse 2 do again? Right, and pulse 1. There's this thing. Could use the wavetable for a third instrument. Well, I guess it's a fourth instrument if you discount noise. Let's see. New wavetable. Add. Oh, that's actually perfect. Let's see, waveform 1 this time. Why is it in pulse? Yeah, sure. Actually, maybe slightly. Yeah, that's better. Rounding it off just slightly. I could, well, but kinda want something more with less space in it, so I'll try doing like something like this. That did the opposite of what I hoped. What? Hmm. I don't know. I'll just do this bullshit. No, that made it sound even worse. Ah, I'm not good at this. Folks, I'm not good. At all. I'm just fucking around basically at this point. Oh, I do have an idea actually. That sounds a little better. Let's do half of it. Come on. There we go. Sure. Alright, that doesn't work here. Does not work in the wavetable channel. It does not have that feature. I do wonder about the synthesizer. Hmm. Let's try phase. I think that might be good. No? Oh, I can't do it in the other way. That's the fastest I can do. Oh well. Invert. Oh well. Doesn't really... average? I mean... Can I... What? No? No. Pause preview restart. Copy your wavetable. Add. I don't know what that does. Don't know what that does. Haha! See, that one I can get behind. Subtract 2. I have no clue. I have no clue. Invert is still one of those. I guess it could sound good. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm better off not doing that. Alright, alright. Why is it not doing anything? Hmm. Does it change with the other? Surely not. Does it? No, I'm hearing pulse too, I think. Let's solo this one. Yeah, okay. Uh, hmm, hmm, hmm. I didn't hear that one go off. What the hell? But why? What the hell? Is that just nothing? What? That was this. I think G works here. Yeah. Okay. Doesn't really work with the rest of it, does it? Yeah. That doesn't work at all. What? Oh. Accidentally pressed this? No? What the hell? I accidentally overwrote the phrase too. Oh god. Okay. God damn. Well, let that be a lesson to don't overwrite. Make sure you're in the correct phrase when you're overwriting things. I guess. That's what we're learning today. Anyway, I think that's it for today. I seem to have absolutely zero musical talent left in me because both things I've made today sound like ass, and that's not. I'm not even gonna blame the software, right? I'm not very good at furnace yet, obviously. But I should be able to do like basic melodies and rhythms still, but apparently not. Good night, folks. It's 16:50 where I am. I'm going to go to sleep. No, I'm not. But I think that's it for this stream. I am going to be saving this now, in case anyone wants to listen to it for whatever reason. I need to disable this again. And I'm going to be calling this I don't know, smelted, because it's furnace. You see? Aha. Actually, I could do that here as well. Smelted. Riedler. I am honestly not happy about putting my name on this even. Can I export it? I do want to test the export thingy, because I saw I can export things in VGM format. What is this? Useful if you're writing a playback routine. Ah, I see. Sure. Well, now it throws me somewhere where you can see it anyway, so whatever. Smelted, and it should now be a VGM file. And if I can, not XMP, VGM play, downloads, new, smelted.vgm. Yep. Exported. Well, the only thing, furnace song. I don't think I can export this as a module, can I? Text. Command stream, DMF, Deflemask? Don't know what that is. Well, I'm going to be looking up whether I can export this as a module or not. But for now, I think that's the end of the stream. Good night, everyone.